Bullying, it is a word we are hearing far too often, and some of the results are absolutely devastating. Many times children are feeling so much pain and they just don't know how to cope. News 4's Katrice Nolan has more on our series on schoolyard scars.
Bullying is nothing new for society, but recently many students have taken things into their own hands, dealing with the pressure the only way they know how. Take a look at some of the effects bullying has had in our area. This or this. It's how far some teens have been pushed after being bullied. 16-year-old Malik Thomas's mother says he was bullied because of his sexual orientation. His mother was only left behind with a note from her young son.
He said, I hope you get well. He said, well, maybe I'm better off dead. He said, maybe you'll be happy. He said, because life was not for me.
One family's experience with bullying was so bad, they ended up here at Southeast Alabama Medical Center.
My son got hit with a brick.
Betty Hall says it happened at Northview High School. According to hospital workers, the blow to his head was so hard, 17-year-old Thomas Colby suffered continuous seizures and spent 3 nights in a hospital room.
They said that due to the head injury that he had from the school, that is causing him to have the seizures.
The trauma was so severe, our cameras were not allowed in his hospital room for fear he may have more seizures.
If they wore glasses or whatever, they call them 4 eyes.
But instead of the occasional name calling, things got more serious, escalating to physical abuse. According to the Halls, the school did not help them resolve the matter, so we went with Colby's stepfather to Northview High School to see how the school was going to handle his son's case.
I'm going to the principal's office. Yeah, Thomas Colby getting hit behind the head with a brick.
After being told the principal was not there, I was told to leave the campus and turn off my camera. Mr. Hall was also escorted off campus. Hall says that type of treatment from school administrators makes the emotional scars of the incident linger.
I'm not going to watch my son have to have brain surgery because of some stupid idiot that can't control his problem. And I mean, I'm going to watch him die.
It's a similar pain Jennifer Carey is experiencing with her son in Slocum.
I literally cried.
She says he's been bullied since they moved to the Geneva County town more than 7 years ago.
This year already he's been thrown against a wall and his book bag thrown into mud puddles and ruined everything in his bag.
14-year-old Keith Carey says most of the bullying is vulgar and inappropriate.
I was sitting in the gym and I had 2 kids come up to me and it was sexual harassment. They were rubbing their stuff all up in my face and saying they were gonna do stuff to me.
Carrie says if that type of behavior from other students continues, her biggest fear is that her son may end up in an even worse situation.
Either being homicidal or suicidal.
It's a place these mothers want their children to avoid. The Halls are seeking justice in the case of their son, Thomas Colby, after his incident at Northview High School. We will continue to stay on that part of this bullying story.
Thank you, Katrice. Now, both the Halls and the Careys say that they hope their sons never experience this bullying again.
The most hurt in any situation is the child.
Yes, and we decided to talk to some local teens about the growing problem. News 4's Katrice Nolan has more.
Bullying can happen at any age, but here recently, the students most affected are in their adolescent to teenage years, especially around the Wiregrass. This time, we wanted to see what children really thought about the issue in our area. High school. It's a time where self-identity is important, and many students have a hard time finding out who they are. Being bullied while going to school does not help. We sat down with 7 students at Dothan High School, and it didn't take long for some of the students to admit they have dealt with bullying before. How many of you have even experienced bullying? Just raise your hand. 5 out of 7, but they all had something to say about bullying.
The main thing in bullying, people are like nervous to just come out and be like, well, this is my personality. Can you accept me for who I am?
You're going to be bullied if you appear as a target. Nobody's, you're less likely to be bullied if you have self-confidence and you know that, I am who I am and I enjoy myself and, I'm not afraid to say what I think or do what I think.
Certain people pick on those targeted areas, your inner confidence, your deficiencies.
Well, I don't believe in bullying. I feel like if you have something to say about someone, it's just better to tell them so it doesn't end up getting to them. I mean, it's just easier to say what you think to the person.
11th grader Darlene Wynn says the bullying has been so bad over the years, she has felt bad about herself.
I think I'm not worth anything.
For her, walking these halls could be cold and empty.
Maybe if I wasn't born, it wouldn't be me that was cornered, that was centered in that situation. Or maybe if I wasn't there, it wouldn't be so hard. If I wasn't this race, maybe I wouldn't get pointed at.
What Darlene expressed concerned her peers.
You're not the only one in the school. It's not just you. It's kids all around.
These teens believe some behavior mimics adults.
What you see on TV, what you see on the streets, what you see in school, what you see from anyone around you, it's your environment. It's just monkey see, monkey do.
It's a behavior child psychiatrist Dr. Geraldine McLeod is seeing more often at her office in Dothan.
Whether it's teasing, whether it's hitting, whether it's being intimidated.
It's a problem these students want to end before someone else is hurt. There was a counselor present at the interview for the students, and she says she has made the commitment to work with each student on the issue of bullying.
Dr. McLeod also says some of the other telltale signs of bullying include if a child's grades start to slip, along with lashing out at other siblings and adults in their home.
Statistics indicate that 1 in 4 students are bullied across the country. More than 78% of those teenagers decide to take their own lives after being bullied.
And our area has seen this happen, but others are hopeful that these horrible effects will put an end to bullying. And News 4's Katrice Nolan continues our series on this problem.
Despite all the negativity that surrounds bullying, there is a glimmer of hope. Students, parents, administrators, and law enforcement want to put a stop to it all. This time we take a look at ways others want the problem to be stopped and one man's mission in Slocum to prevent bullying. We often hear about the problem of bullying, but the people we talk to wanted to provide solutions.
And I want the police to do their job, and I want the school to do their job to where these kids can be safe to go to school.
I just want the schools in general, the town, to take a bigger step on the whole bullying situation. I mean, there are too many teenagers and adults and even young children that have been bullied to the point of either being homicidal or suicidal.
That's something that we'll campaign against, you know, negative behavior and, you know, exploitation. Then we could, in a way, get everyone involved in something that would be anti-bullying.
All around, and that's why we, you know, need to come together to help students in situations like that.
Making sure that their child feels loved, making sure that, you know, the parents or the guardians do what they can to build up the child's self-esteem at every chance they can.
That's only a few solutions of what some people in the Wiregrass want done to stop bullying. But one man here in Slocum says he's on a mission to make sure every student knows bullying isn't tolerated. Meet Slocum's Chief of Police, Don White. It's clear he's no stranger to children at Slocum Middle School.
Hey, come here, girl.
Every child who passed him in the hallway knew him.
We started about 2-3 years ago over at the elementary school and high school, and has really took off into all aspects of the school to where we give instructions and classes for the parents, for the teachers, right down to the kindergartens up through the seniors.
Chief White walks these hallways to monitor bullying. It's a program he says has been effective since its inception, and they're working to expand in nearby areas.
The program has went over so well here in Slocum, we have expanded it countywide throughout the Geneva County school system and over into the Geneva City school system. It's a program that's well needed throughout all school systems because every class, every high school, elementary school has bullying in it.
At Grandview Elementary, it's Bully Prevention Week, and these 3rd through 5th graders are learning early how to stop bullying.
When somebody bullying you, go to the teacher or the parent, there's an adult that's around you, or walk away, or don't listen to them, or go to another friend group.
All in all, administrators, parents, students, and law enforcement want to work together to stop bullying. There are programs implemented in some schools across the Wiregrass to stop bullying, but hopefully there will be one program in every school soon.
Thanks a lot, Katrice. Now, therapists also say it's important to note that anti-bullying starts in the home of every child.